On the morning of March 31st, 2026, 30,000 Oracle employees woke up to find their system access revoked. The severance was delivered in a single 6 a.m. email. There were no advanced meetings with HR. Managers weren't given a heads up to warn their teams. Access to internal networks simply ceased functioning before the workday even began. At the exact same time those termination emails went out, the company was finalizing its quarterly earnings report. Net income had surged 95%, clearing $6 billion in pure profit. The traditional logic of the market dictates that when revenues climb to record highs, a business expands its workforce. Here, the most profitable quarter in company history was rewarded with the largest mass firing they had ever executed. Oracle is not an anomaly. Throughout the first quarter, Amazon and Meta initiated identical purges, severing tens of thousands of roles from their corporate rosters. In the first few months of 2026 alone, the technology sector eliminated over 113,000 jobs. Yet during that exact same window, aggregate earnings for the S&P 500 reached an all-time record of $690 billion. Instead of reinvesting those profits into human capital, the S&P 500 spent roughly $1 trillion buying back stock while conducting these white-collar cuts. Economists have begun tracking this divergence under a specific term, the jobless boom. Corporate wealth is expanding rapidly, and white-collar unemployment is rising right alongside it. When executives issue public statements regarding these reductions, they almost uniformly cite a single variable: artificial intelligence. Current language models can effectively draft emails and manage basic customer support tickets. They cannot architect cloud security infrastructure or manage complex software integrations, yet those are the senior engineering positions absorbing the brunt of the layoffs. Industry researchers track this discrepancy as AI washing. Management teams are pointing to algorithm deployment to obscure the fact that they simply hired too many people during the zero interest rate environment of 2021. For the majority of displaced tech workers, their daily tasks were not actually handed over to a machine learning agent. Their salaries were eliminated so the company could afford to buy the algorithm. Balance sheets weigh OPEX, human salaries, against CAPEX, physical infrastructure. In 2026, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft committed $700 billion exclusively to AI CAPEX. To finance this massive build-out without destroying profit margins, the OPEX budget is liquidated to rebalance the scale. Oracle, for instance, is pushing $8 to $10 billion in freed-up salary cash directly into a $156 billion pipeline for new data centers. They are literally trading office space for server square footage. This is the core financial mechanic of 2026. Corporations are systematically dismantling their human capital to underwrite their computing power.
My employer only sees a small part of my real value. That's because most people are underselling themselves, the hidden business value that actually makes them valuable. If you're ready to show your real value, go to icebergprofile.com.
Institutional investors evaluate these decisions using a specific density metric, lessening per employee. They want to see how much cash a business can generate with the absolute minimum number of people on payroll. When a company eliminates 10,000 salaries but maintains its core revenue, that efficiency ratio spikes. The market responds by immediately bidding up the share price. Mass terminations now function as a calculated financial product designed to trigger stock buybacks. Firing employees provides a more immediate boost to projected earnings than almost any other management strategy. On the ground, this capital reallocation has split the tech labor market strictly in two. For middle managers and general full-stack developers, hiring is functionally frozen, with job postings sitting roughly 40% below their pre-pandemic baseline. This chart compares that decline against the active demand for specialized machine learning engineers. Openings for those specific AI roles have surged nearly 60% over the exact same period, carrying massive salary premiums. Every new hire now competes directly with the budget needed to fund AI data centers. In 2026, a candidate's value is measured against the cost of the compute that could theoretically replace them. The Great Realignment marks a permanent structural shift in how corporations are built. This is a fundamental change in the relationship between tech giants and their labor force. The philosophy driving this shift is a cold calculation. Silicon components are now judged to be more reliable, predictable, and infinitely scalable than human labor. The sprawling, amenity-filled corporate campuses that defined the last decade of tech dominance are shrinking. The physical footprint of the server farm holds the actual value now. Professional survival in 2026 requires the ability to orchestrate these machines. In this new autonomous era, value is concentrated in the people who manage the agents rather than those who perform the work.